So here is the prompt that we're going to ask it. This is the kind of thing that 3.5 would totally choke on if you've tried anything like it. But so we're going to ask for a Discord bot that uses the GPT-4 API to read images and text. Now, there's one problem here, which is this model's training cutoff is in 2021, which means it has not seen our new chat completions format. So I literally just went to the blog post from 2 weeks ago, copy-pasted from the blog post, including the response format. It has not seen the new image extension to that, and so I just kind of wrote that up in just very minimal detail about how to include images. And now the model can actually leverage that documentation that it did not have memorized, that it does not know. And in general, these models are very good at using information that it's been trained on in new ways and synthesizing new content. And you can see that right here, that it actually wrote an entirely new bot. Now, let's actually see if this bot is going to work in practice. So you should always look through the code to get a sense of what it does. Don't run untrusted code from humans or from AIs. And one thing to note is that the Discord API has changed a lot over time, and particularly that there's one feature that has changed a lot since this model was trained. Give it a try. In fact, yes, we are missing the intents keyword. This is something that came out in 2020. So the model does know it exists, but it doesn't know which version of the Discord API we're using. So are we out of luck? Well, not quite. We can just simply paste to the model exactly the error message, not even going to say, hey, this is from running your code. Could you please fix it? We'll just let it run. And the model says, oh yeah, whoops, the intents argument. Here's the correct code. Now let's give this a try, once again, kind of making sure that we understand what the code is doing. Now, a second issue that can come up is it doesn't know what environment I'm running in. And if you notice, it says, hey, here's this inscrutable error message, which if you've not used Jupyter Notebook a lot with async I/O before, you probably have no idea what this means. But fortunately, once again, you can just sort of say to the model, hey, I'm using Jupyter and would like to make this work. Can you fix it? And the specific problem is that there's already an event loop running, so you need to use this nest async I/O library. You need to call nest async IO.apply. The model knows all of this, correctly instantiates all of these pieces into the bot. It even helpfully tells you, oh, you're running in Jupyter. Well, you can do this bang pip install in order to install the package if you don't already have it. That was very helpful. So now we'll run, and it looks like something happened. So the first thing I'll do is go over to our Discord, and I will paste in a screenshot of our Discord itself. So remember, GPT-4 is not just a language model. It's also a vision model. In fact, it can flexibly accept inputs that intersperse images and text arbitrarily, kind of like a document. Now, the image feature is in preview, so this is going to be a little sneak peek. It's not yet publicly available. It's something we're working with one partner called Be My Eyes in order to really start to develop it and get it ready for prime time. But you can ask anything you like. For example, I'll say GPT-4, hello world, can you describe this image in painstaking detail? All right, which first of all, think of how you would do this yourself. There's a lot of different things you could latch onto, a lot of different pieces of the system you could describe. And we can go over to the actual code and we can see that, yep, we in fact received the message, have formatted an appropriate request for our API. And now we wait, because one of the things we have to do is we have to make the system faster. That's one of the things that we're working on optimizing. In the meanwhile, I just want to say to the audience that's watching, we'll take an audience request next. So if you have an image and a task you'd like to accomplish, please submit that to the Discord. Our moderators will pick one that will run. So we can see that the Discord, oh, it looks like we have a response. Perfect. So it's a screenshot of a Discord application interface. pretty good. Did not even describe it. It knows that it's Discord. There's probably Discord written there somewhere where it just kind of knows this from prior experience. Server icon labeled GPT-4 describes the interface in great detail. Talks about all the people telling me that I'm supposed to do Q. Very, very kind audience. And describes a bunch of the notification messages and the users that are in the channel. And so there you go. That's some pretty good understanding. Now, this next one, if you notice, first of all, we got a post, but the model did not actually see the message. So is this a failure of the model or of the system around the model? Well, we can take a look. And if you notice, here, content is an empty string. We received a blank message contents. The reason for this is a dirty trick that we played on the AI. So if you go to the Discord documentation and you scroll through it all the way down to, it's hard for me to even find, honestly, to the message content intent, you'll see this was added as of September 2022 as a required field. So in order to receive a message that does not explicitly tag you, you now have to include this new intent in your code. Remember I said intents have changed a lot over time. This is much newer than the model is possibly able to know. So maybe we're out of luck. We have to debug this by hand. But once again, we can try to use GPT-4's language understanding capabilities to solve this. Now keep in mind, this is a document of I think this is 10,000, 15,000 words, something like that. It's not formatted very well. This is literally a Command-A copy-paste. This is what it's supposed to parse through to find in the middle of that document that, oh yeah, message contents, that's required now. But let's see if it can do it. So we will ask for, I am receiving blank message contents. Can you, why could this be happening? How do I fix it? So one thing that's new about GPT-4 is context length. 32,000 tokens is kind of the upper limit that we support right now. And the model is able to flexibly use long documents. It's something we're still optimizing, so we recommend trying it out, but not necessarily sort of really scaling it up just yet, unless you have an application that really benefits from it. So if you're really interested in long context, please let us know. We want to see what kinds of applications it unlocks.